Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is coming out soon. So of course today I am talking about Final Fantasy VII Remake, the first in the planned trilogy of remakes of the 1997 original Final Fantasy VII. I actually never played the original Final Fantasy VII. All I know is that everyone simply loves that game, and for many people that is the only game in the Final Fantasy series that they have played and liked. So when the remake of that game was announced as a trilogy, fans were quite happy but also a bit worried. But anyway, the first game in that trilogy, the Final Fantasy VII Remake we got in 2020, turned out to be a huge hit, and I'm sure the other two games in the series will also be the same. In this short playthrough, I go through the first mission of the game, which takes place in the Mako reactor, and it is really a quite excellent introduction to the game. You play Cloud, a mercenary who is hired by an eco-terrorist group to bomb a reactor plant that harvests Mako, which is a type of energy used in the game. Along the way, you are introduced to the game's combat mechanics as well as the party system. Cloud is primarily a melee-based character, so you will have to use other characters in your team if you want to use ranged attacks. I really liked the music that played throughout this level, and it was no surprise to find out that the original soundtrack is as beloved as the game itself. Since this is a tutorial level, of course it is quite easy and you get out of the reactor after achieving your goal, and from here the game moves on to a much bigger adventure. If you are someone who has never played a Final Fantasy game, I would strongly suggest that you start with this game instead of the newer entries in the franchise, even though none of the games are really connected to each other. But be prepared for a long ride, because the main campaign itself can take up to 40 hours to complete, and the complete game can take as much as 80 hours to complete. The game is available only on PC and the PlayStation platforms, although you can play the original Final Fantasy VII on Xbox as well.